Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let's look at the next question. Was Jesus born in winter or was he born in summer? Because Christians celebrate birth of Jesus in the winter time. What does Quran says about it, and what are the biblical accounts about this? Well, frankly speaking, neither Quran nor Bible specifically talk about the season in which Jesus was born. But the apparent verses from the Quran and the Bible suggest that he was not born in winter. For example, if you open Surah Maryam and you start looking at the details of the birth of Jesus as explained in this chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when Mary conceived Jesus and when her delivery and the delivery of the Jesus was very near, or Isa alayhi salam, Mary went farther away from where she was living. فَحَمَلَتْهُ فَانْتَبَذَتْ بِهِ مَكَانًا قَصِيًّا. And so it was ordained, she conceived him, she withdrew to a distant place. Now what exactly was this distant place? There are different people who say different locations, but that's not what our focus is today. And then Quran says, فَأَجَاءَهَا الْمَخَاضُ إِلَى جِذْعِ النَّخْلَةِ. And when the pains of childbirth drove her to cling to the trunk of a date palm tree, قالت يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا. And at that point she exclaimed, I wish I had been dead and forgotten long before all this. And this was because of several reasons. Again, we are not going into that detail today. If you're interested, we can explore as to why she said these words, inshallah, some other time. So she reached a date palm tree as stated in Surah Maryam, verse number 23. At that point, an angel called upon, فَنَادَاهَا مِن تَحْتِهَا أَلَّا تَحْزَنِي قَدْ جَعَلَ رَبُّكِ تَحْتَكِ سَرِيًّا. Mary, why do you worry? A voice cried to her from below, do not worry. Your Lord has provided a stream at your feet. That means that she was given a stream of water. And on top of that, وَهُزِّي إِلَيْكِ بِجِذْعِ النَّخْلَةِ. And if you shake the trunk of the palm tree towards you, تُسَاقِطْ عَلَيْكِ رُطَبًا جَنِيًّا. It will deliver fresh ripe dates for you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this arrangement that Mary had a stream of water running next to her, and the tree trunk, if she would shake the stem, the dates would fall on her. Now comes the question, okay, in what season dates ripe? And for those of you who are familiar with this, you will say, well, dates ripe in summer, not in the winter time. Now comes another viewpoint here that some mufassirun have written in their books of tafsir that this was a dried up date palm tree. It wasn't a date palm tree with dates on it. And some people say, well, it wasn't a dried up trunk, but rather it didn't have any dates on it. And some say that it was a dried up trunk in such a bad condition that even its branches had fallen off. So there are different people who have written different details about the nature of this date palm tree, but Quran doesn't specifically state any of these, rather just says, Mary, just shake the trunk and the dates will fall on it. Well, even if the tree without any fruits, remember earlier we probably talked about this when Mary was still under the guardianship of Zakaria alayhi salam, and whenever Zakaria alayhi salam would enter the room of Mary, he would always find fruits. Without anybody coming into the room or exiting from the room miraculously, she would have fruits, and many a time fruits out of season. And Zakaria alayhi salam would ask Maryam, that Maryam, anna laki hadha, where did you get this from? And she would say, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah, who provided her with fruits out of season in her room, directly delivered, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala probably also provided her dates from a tree that was totally dried up. Allah knows the best. So there is one evidence which probably compel people to say, well, since dates ripen, especially in that region where she is from, specifically talking about in the Palestine, has to be during the summer months. It has to be somewhere between July and at the latest September. So this suggests that Jesus was more likely born in late summer or early autumn or early fall, not winter time. And if you look at the biblical account in the Bible, in the Gospel of Luke, we see that this verse comes, and there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. So again, going back to in Palestine, shepherds typically graze their flocks in the open fields during warmer months and not during the cold and rainy winters. So this also implies that Jesus most likely was born either in late summer or in fall, but not in winter for sure. So neither from the Quran nor from the biblical account we see any direct evidence of he being born in the winter time. So comes the question, okay, then where in the world this tradition of celebrating the birthday of Jesus on December 25th came about? So this tradition of celebrating Jesus' birth on December 25th was established centuries later, aligning with Roman pagan festivals such as Saturnalia and the winter solstice, rather than historical evidence of Jesus' birth date. And both of these are pagan holidays. If you want to know what exactly was Saturnalia, well, it is a Roman festival honoring Saturn, the god of agriculture, celebrated with feasting and gift-giving. Similarly, there's also Sol Invictus, which is the unconquered sun, a festival making the winter solstice, celebrating the rebirth of the sun as days began to grow longer. When Christianity began to spread in the Roman Empire, church leaders chose December 25th as the date to celebrate Jesus' birth, likely to replace these pagan celebrations with a Christian alternative. And Jesus was often referred to as the light of the world in the Christian theology, as expressed in John, the book of John. So early Christians may have associated this symbolism with the rebirth of the sun during the winter solstice, making December 25th a fitting symbolic date. So the date was formalized by a Roman Church in the 4th century under Emperor Constantine, who promoted Christianity within the Roman Empire. By aligning Jesus' birth with existing Roman festivals, Christianity became more acceptable to converts familiar with these traditions. So neither the Bible nor early Christian writings provide evidence for December 25th as the actual date of Jesus' birth. The Bible describes events surrounding his birth but does not specify date or season. Over time, December 25th became widely accepted as the date to celebrate Christmas due to the influence of the Roman Church, even though Eastern Orthodox Christians often celebrated on January 7th based on the Julian calendar. So, the choice of December 25th for celebrating Jesus' birth was a strategic decision to align with pagan traditions and enhance Christianity's appeal in the Roman world. It is not based on historical or scriptural evidence, but rather a cultural and symbolic significance. I hope that answers your question. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos. And don't forget to put your questions in the comment section below, as this video would not have been possible if one of you would not have asked this question. Till next time, take care of yourself.